Hello, it's Laurel here, and today I'm here with a card where I do a little bit of shading on some colored cardstock with my Copic markers. You can use any alcohol markers or any markers probably for this. And if you look closely at these die cuts, there's actually some very subtle shading on there, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Now I'm using this Wild Gardens die set. This is a standalone die set from the latest Essentials by Ellen release, and I just love it. Look at all those beautiful, beautiful floral images in the leaves. It's just stunning. So I'm actually showing you how you just kind of bend them back and forth, and then they snap apart. Very easy. They come apart. They come together for packaging purposes, but they're very easy to just kind of bend back and forth, and they just come right apart. Pretty awesome. These dies are super high quality dies made in the USA, and they cut like butter. I use a die cutting machine called the Vagabond, but they work with any die cutting machine that you have. And I'm just putting these dies on various scratch cardstock pieces. This is another good way to use up all your scraps. I have a little bin where I put scraps, and I literally went over there and dug out all those colored cardstock pieces and ran them through my die cutting machine, and you can see, look how pretty they are and how intricate they are, and the little pieces that you pop out, I just kind of tapped it with my finger and all the little pieces came out. It's just awesome. Now I'm using this hex chart that was designed by Sandy Allnock. I'll link to it in my blog and on the YouTube description below, and I like it because it shows you, it's a layout where the colors work together. On the Copic website, it's sorted by number, and on her chart it is grouped together by colors that blend well. So I didn't know that a lot of the colors that I had that were so completely off by number actually blend well. So I'm going in with these different colored Copic markers, and I'm just adding some color, just no rhyme or reason. I've got my little cap up there that shows you the number that I'm using, but I don't exactly know the name of all these colored cardstocks. I've had them for so long, so it's really not going to be helpful to you. But I just looked at my little swatch sheet, and I just picked a color based off of that. So again, I'm just going in and adding some very simple shading. This is the one I wasn't the happiest with. I wanted to add a purple center to this yellow die cut, but it ended up kind of looking brown and muddy. Anyway, I'm not going to use it, but I really did try, man. I really tried to make that work. I saw a flower that a friend of mine Instagram, she's in Italy, it's Vera Yates, and she's gallivanting all around while I'm sitting here in my house in Jacksonville, and she posted this flower, and it was so pretty, and it was yellow, and it had this beautiful purple inside. Anyway, that's what I was trying to do with that flower, but yeah, I failed, flopped miserably, but oh well, live and learn. So again, just going in with different colors, just no rhyme or reason. Sometimes I use my chisel tip, sometimes I use my brush tip. To be honest, it's whatever I open, whatever cap I open first. So sometimes I go in with the side of my brush. There's, I'm just adding a little bit of color, that's all. With this particular flower, I'm going in with a green. It was a blue cardstock. Thought I would add a little contrasting green there. So anyway, if I can do this, anybody can do this. So just grab your markers and just try to add a little bit of color. I wanted to try to save this yellow flower, so I'm going in with an orange to try to make the flower orange. I really did try to make this flower pretty. But anyway, I'm not going to use it in my card today. But now I want to show you quickly how I got those. See those like kind of shiny lines in the background? I did that with some stamps. This is a stamp set. It's Thin Stripes by Impression Obsession. And I'm applying a very generous amount of Versamark to my stamp, and then I'm taking this pretty teal colored cardstock, and I'm just pressing it down into my stamp, just like so. And I get a nice image. You can leave it there and you'll have that beautiful tone-on-tone look, but I wanted a little bit of shine and shimmer, so I'm grabbing some Wow embossing powder here. And I love embossing powder by Wow. First of all, it's really inexpensive, and it's really good quality. It really provides good coverage. And I am just pouring that onto my card base there. Then I'm going to funnel it back into my little bottle here with a piece of scratch paper there. And then I'm going to heat set it. And when you do that, you get this beautiful, very subtle shine, not an in-your-face shine, but just very pretty shimmer there to the background that I thought would tie in nicely to all the bright colors that I'm using on the card today. So as you can see, you can hopefully pick up in the camera that those pretty shimmered lines. It's just so pretty. And this is by Wow. It's called Silver Pearl is the color. It's just so pretty. You can really see it there. Now I wanted to show you how I kind of gathered all those flowers together. When I started putting them together, I was getting a little worried because it looked like I didn't want it to look like I just threw my die cuts on there. I was trying to make this little bouquet, little arrangement over here towards the bottom corner of my card. I'm applying all of my flowers down with some multi-matte medium glue just to the center. I'm not applying any on the petals because I want the petals to kind of pop up off the page on their own. So I'm just applying to the flowers, just to the center of the flowers. And then I'm just going in and kind of tucking here, tucking there. I'm gonna realize that I put that leaf in the back, you know, the wrong way soon, by the way. So I'll change it up. So I'm going in and layering it. I wanted to layer all these flowers on top of each other. I wanted to show you how perfectly they work together, even though they're different shapes and different colors. So I'm just tucking, gluing, tucking, doing anything that I think looks good. And again, I'm using that multi-matte medium. A little bit goes a long way. So you saw how little glue I used. It's going to hold those die cuts in place, no problem. I love that glue. So now I'm going to go ahead and adhere my little card panel here to a top folding white card base. It's Nina 110-pound solar white card base. And then that's a strip of pink cardstock that matches that pink flower. And I just kind of adhered that down there to the left to create a little border. And as always, I do this all the time. I gave no thought to a sentiment. So of course, when in doubt, grab a die cut. So that is a love sentiment also from Ellen Hutson. It's one of the Christmas die sets actually. So see? I'll link to the product below. And I wanted to go in and give it a little bit of color. So I grabbed a light colored Copic marker and it was just too light. So I'm going in and adding more, hoping I can pull out more color. And I'm just layering on that color over and over and over again. And yeah, it's still too light. So I had to go in with this darker color here, and I'm just, you can see I'm using the side of my brush and just kind of really have no idea where I'm putting that color. I'm just kind of putting it wherever my pen falls. And then I'm going to go in and try to blend that out with that lighter color pink there until it looks, I made an ombre color. You know what I mean? I did that on purpose. Of course I did. So now I'm pleased with the pink there, and so I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down also with that same multi-matte medium. Another thing is it's matte, so if any oozes out the side, which it will when I go and put this down, it's going to dry completely clear and matte. You will never see it. So that's another reason why I love it. It's strong and it's like invisible. It's awesome. So then I'm going to take my Mac Daddy scissors here and cut off the excess, and I'm also going to cut off the little bit of flowers that was hanging off the card there on the side. And then I'm almost done, but not quite. You know, I just, that little die cut needed some glitter. Hello, gotta have some glitter on my intentional ombre die cut. So I'm using my Wink of Stella in clear, and I'm adding it to the die. I'm doing it twice, and then I'm adding it to that little pink strip. That gives you a nice little subtle application of shine there. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera. And this is liquid pearls, which I love, and I want to encourage you to squirt it off to the side before taking it to your project. I ended up having to cut a little tip of it off. And then what you want to do is you want to kind of put it down on the center of the flower, which is what I did, and then you thump it from the back. And when you do that, it's going to remove any peaks, and you get this perfect little circle. So as a finishing touch, I'm going over the die cut with some glossy accents that I have filled in a fine line applicator bottle. And I'm just going over that with some glossy accents to, of course, give it some more shine. We've got some sparkle, now we've got some shine, and so I'm good to go with this card. So that's it, and you can see that circle, it's like a perfect circle. Just thump it from behind when you use liquid pearls, and it's just like a perfect little mound of goodness, you know what I mean? All of the supplies that I used are linked below in the YouTube description and also on my blog, the exact colors that I used, with the exception of the Copics. I didn't list the exact color of the Copics, but everything else is on the blog if you're interested. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.